from yesterday. We did 3 types of equations. All of these are parabolas. What are parabolas again?
Like this thing.
Yeah, this or
like this.
Right. Good. Okay, so a U or a N. Okay. So this first type, when you have y equals x squared, is this thing. Okay, this U thing right here. So when you have that plus k afterwards, what does that mean again? Hayden.
Positive number is going to move the entire parabola up. It's going to move like the vertex up.
Yep.
Negative number is going to move it down.
Right. Okay. So if let's say this is 5, then my vertex is going to be 0, 5. If this was -2, then my vertex will be 0, -2. So if it's k, what is my vertex? 0, k. Okay. Right. So yeah, whatever you're going up or down by, that's going to be your vertex. Okay. 9. The value k is the Rashawn, you just said it. The value k is the minimum or
maximum. I don't know.
Yeah, minimum or maximum.
Look at me go.
Good. Okay. The graph of y equals x squared. Wait, the graph can be obtained from the graph of y equals x squared by something of k units. By a shift. Instead of saying move, we say we shift it up or shift it down. Okay. And then this is what, and then Tayden, this is actually what you said. If k is positive, the graph is shifted up. And there are, so if you shift your graph up, how many x-intercepts do you have? 0. Good. And if k is negative, we're going to shift it down. And if we shift it down, how many times is it going to cross the x-axis? 2. Right, I'll do a little sketch for you. Right, so if you shift it up, it doesn't cross the x-axis. And then if you shift it down, it's going to cross it twice. Question? Question? Okay. Question, Tayden, or are you good? What is this unit called? Quadratic function. Quadratic. Okay. So let's do this type first. Okay. Brackets. Brackets. What does that tell you? Whenever you see brackets, William, shifts left or right. Good. Okay. Yeah. So let's see. If you see it in this form, it is a shift to the right. Shift right. Right. AKA that means the value of h itself is positive. Okay. And then if you see it like this, where is plus inside the bracket, then it's to the left, which means your h value is negative. Okay. And if that's the case, what is your vertex? This is shifting it left, right. Okay, so going back to here, if it's up, down, then it's 0k. And then if it's left, right, it's going to be,
H0.
H0. Thank you, Sydney and Rajat. Oh. Okay. And not 0h because remember, you're moving the left right, which is your x value. That's why it's h. Oh. Okay. And then the third type that we did yesterday was when there's a number in front of the x squared. What does that do? Andy.
Either makes it wider or skinnier or
Good. But right, okay. So we won't say the graph is fat or the graph is skinny. We say, as Sydney said, this sounds so much fancier, doesn't it? Stretch and compress. Okay, and what else? And what else? One more thing, other than being fat and skinny. Yeah. Right, and if it's reflected. Okay.
How do you write? How many years have
You know how many times I do this lesson? Yeah. So comparing with it, so when a is greater than 1, we say it's a. When a is greater than 1, so a whole number, big number. Yep. Stretch, yeah. Stretch by a. Okay, so if a is 5, then it's a stretch by 5. If a is 10, then it's a stretch by 10. If a is 5.8, it's a stretch by 5.8. Okay. What if the a value is between 0 and 1? Yep. Yeah, compress by a. So let's say the a value is a half, then it's compressed by a half. If a value is a quarter, then it's compressed by a quarter. Right, and then this is the part where Sydney was saying, if a is positive, my parabola opens upwards. Excellent. Or up. Okay, and if a is negative, yeah, it opens downwards like this. Okay, but the vertex is still 0, 0 because you're not moving it left, not moving it up or down. Okay. The only way for your parabola to be upside down is if it's a negative in front. Alright, so the plus or minus afterwards or inside the bracket doesn't make it upside down. So make sure you don't mix it up. This is shifting the whole graph down. This is the graph is upside down. Yeah.
So the first equation, y equals x squared.
Yeah.
This y equals negative, x squared equals whatever. Does that make it full?
As long as the number in front of the x squared is negative, then it will make it upside down. That's the only condition. That's the only condition to make it upside down. Yeah, so we're going to do some examples together. We're going to mix it up now. Okay. So let's mix it up. Let's take a look at a couple, page 11.
What is this?
We'll fill out these charts. Well, it's just a sketch. It's just a sketch, so I don't need any scale. I just want the graph. Alright. So remember how I said y equals x squared? You should be able to draw it with your eyes closed now. Okay. This sketch took me 5 seconds. And so that's why I gave you a little box like that. Okay. Y equals x squared. What is my vertex?
Page 11, everyone. Page 11.
Good. So then, what is my vertex? 0, 0. Ethan, what is my axis of symmetry? X equals 0. What is the keyword here? Equation of axis of symmetry. So you have to write x equal. You can't just write 0. Does this graph opens up or open down? Up. And if it's up, this point is maximum or minimum? Again? Minimum. Can you have a graph that opens up at maximum? No. Okay. Draw that for me. Okay. So if it's up, it has to be min. If it's down, it has to be max. Okay. So let's say let's say this one. Okay. Let's try this one. So drawing a sketch of this. How will it look if I were to do a sketch? Cindy? Perfect. So stretch meaning it looks skinnier. Notice this looks much skinnier than this, and it's upside down because of the negative. Hi. Good question. For now, I just want you guys to get used to the 3 types. So we're just doing a little sketch. Tomorrow or the next day, we're gonna actually graph it like with precise points. Okay, but one step at a time. Okay, so right now I just want you guys to get used to the different formats. So Rashawn, what's my vertex here? 0, 0. That's right. This middle point is still here. Tayden, equation of axis of symmetry? Symmetry?
Equation of symmetry?
Yeah.
Right.
X equals 0. Okay. Let's say Max. Hi. Okay. This right here, is it opening up or opening down? And if it's down, this is a maximum or minimum point?
Maximum.
But there's a reason why I asked you, Max. Because the answer is Max.
You guys never know that. Is it always maximum when it's facing down?
Yep. Yes. Yes. And it's always minimal when it's facing up. Okay. So transformation. So what happened? As Sydney said, it has a stretch of 3. Stretch by 3. And it's also flipped, which we say formally reflected on the x-axis. Now on the test, if you say flipped, will I give you the mark? Half the mark. Okay, and again, why is because in grade 10 we only do reflected on the x-axis, but in grade 11 you do reflected on the y-axis.
It's like stretch by 3, but like wouldn't it be stretched by -3?
Can you stretch something by a negative factor though? No. Right. So yeah. Oh, good metaphor. Right.
If you're writing down it was stretched by something or something, just ignore the negative when you're writing.
But how is 3 get smaller? Why would bigger is smaller or smaller is bigger?
Huh? Does that make sense? No. Okay, so let me repeat that then, since I paused it. So we were saying, because of the bracket, it means it's to the right 2, and then the 1/4 means it's a compression by a quarter. Okay, so I'm just doing a sketch, so that's why it looks dramatic. Looking at this, vertex is 2, 0, middle line, axis of symmetry is right here, so it's x equals 2. It opens upwards, and so it's a minimum. Okay, ready for the challenge? Yeah, let's do it. Page 13. Let's try Okay, this is yeah, not that bad. Let's do this one. This one.
Whoa, what page is that?
13.
Oh!
You can do it.
Me and Sydney know the answer, but I'm gonna let her answer because.
Alright, well, I want the others as well. Neela, you're gonna help me. Yeah, because I don't think your phone has the answer for this one, so let's work on this together. Okay, so first thing, let's say, what is this negative in the front? Neela.
So now reflected 2.
Alright, what does that negative in the front tells me? Reflected in the what? Oh, also on the test, you can't just say reflected. As I said, there is a reflected in the x and reflected in the y. So here, reflected in the x. I want you to get in the habit. So that in grade 11, you don't get confused. Okay. Okay, what about the 2? So then? The 2 in the front. Yeah. Is it? Left, right, it's only if it's inside the bracket. We're talking about the 2, just the 2.
Just the 2?
The 2 in the front.
Down 2. Down.
Let me see. Jerry, the 2. The 2 in the front. So if it was just like this, negative 2x squared, what does the 2 do? Pass? Thinking or pass? No? Pass? Okay. Jonathan? Left, right is inside the bracket. This is in the front. Adam. Stretch. Stretch. Stretch by how much? 2. Alright, again, it's not stretched by negative 2 because you can't stretch something by a negative factor. Alright, William, the +1. Left 1. Alright, so remember left, right is only in the bracket. And then the -3 at the end. Gavin, you've been quiet today. Are you sure? We already said left 1. So how do you do left 1 and then right 3? Down 3. Okay. So reflected in the x is that negative. The stretch by 2 is the 2 in the front. The 1 inside the bracket means left 1. And the -3 at the end means down 3. So if I were to graph it now, okay, skinny and down. Nice. Does yours look like that? Maybe.
What decides the
The negative in the front.
Oh, the negative in the front. What's in front of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Look where our point is. Wait, but what did the 2 expand? What did the 2 distribute to 1?
We're not expanding. We're not expanding.
See, I'm like training to do much. But I don't understand that either. I don't. It's not part of my knowledge. I don't get.
Alright, here's the tricky question. What is my vertex? Oh, okay.
Let me do it.
Give them a second. Give them everyone should be thinking. What is the vertex? Okay. Well, I saw Gavin's hand up first. His hand was up first. Okay. What is it, Gavin? Good job.
What I tell you, you're such a nerd. Because obviously I'm at negative.
Okay, how do you know it's -1, -3? Gavin, how do you know it's -1, -3? Guess who? Okay, Jaden, why is it -1, -3?
Left by 1 and negative 3 because it goes down by 100.
Right.
Negative 1's on your X. And
Yeah.
left is on your Y.
Perfect. What is my axis of symmetry, William?
X equals negative 1.
X equals. All right. Jaden, does this open up or open down?
I don't know why. Down. Opens down. Down. Direction is it opening in front of my eyes? Downward.
Yeah, and if it's down, it has to be a. Good.
I don't know why you're answering the question.
Okay. Okay. Let me do some general. So in general, okay, in general, we have this equation: y equals a x minus h squared plus k. So these ones that we just did, the hardest ones ever, is gonna be in this form where it's a mix of all three types. The A, as we said, we know it's a stretch or compress or reflection. Yeah. When is the test? We just started this unit yesterday.
Usually sounds like it's gonna be next week, the first day we do it.
Let me take a look. Let me finish the lesson and then I'll see. We are. Yeah, I know, eh? So who said yesterday? Why is the package so thick? See, we're on page 13 already. I'll count. I'll count the days, and then this is down. Okay. If it's in this format, what is my vertex? Mingye? If this is the general form, what is my vertex? HK. Yeah. Right, remember? This is the left, right, and this is the up, down. So I'll give you a few examples.
Oh no, because X is 0, so.
Yeah. So y equal, let's say 3x minus 5 squared plus 2. What would my vertex be here? 5, 2, yeah. Okay, what about this? Y equals negative 3x plus 2 minus 3. What would my vertex be here? William? Negative 2, negative 3. What about y equals?
It's going down. Up is down, left is right. Positive, negative. Oh, without.
Okay, what about this one? Adam? 1, 0. Good. What about y equal?
If it's a plus number, it moves left.
Alright, Alexia, what about this one? Not -5, +5. Good. Alright, one last one. That. What about this one?
Oh.
Andy?
0, -3.
0, -3. And then the final one. Cindy. 0, 0. All right. Good. Good. All right. So if you can, the question that I'm gonna ask you guys the most in this unit is, what is the vertex? What is the vertex? What is the vertex? So that's why I just suddenly did like 6 examples with you guys in just finding the vertex. Once you have the vertex, it's so much easier to graph your graph. Okay, but because once you know your vertex, you already know the shifting. You already know the left, right, up, down, and all that. Okay, so homework up to page 13. Up to page 13. And guess what I'm gonna do right now? Homework check! For the last chapter.